Welcome back to the Betoota Talks, our weekly interview format podcast. You're joined by myself, Clancy Overall, and Errol Parker, editor-at-large of the Betoota Advocate. And today we're going to talk about this long-lost art form known as localism. Specifically, in a place that, a lot of people in Australia have been to or lived in. A fair portion of the population lives there. It's halfway between, the glorious Sunshine State and the kind of miserable, brooding, artistic, Victorian kind of capital of Melbourne. We're talking about Sydney, and it's an interesting place because once upon a time it was a cultural engine room. It was a queer capital. It was basically responsible for pub rock, which is one of our most defining art forms to come out of this country. All those bands bouncing around the eastern suburbs, Cold Chisel playing 7 gigs a night. You got movies like Two Hands that kind of explain what the King's Cross was like. It was a place where some kid from the country could come and find a flat and make a life for himself. Les Norton novels. We had a lot. Mark Twain came and visited Sydney.
And he was able to remark then that there was problems with housing supply.
Yes. He had a great quote. He said, "God made this harbour, but Satan made this city." Recently, though, Sydney has become quite sterile, at least from the outside looking in. Once upon a time, it was nationally recognised as, as a cool place to be, a cool place to hang out, spend your 20s, spend your 30s, maybe start a family, fuck off to the suburbs, all kinds of cultures and cuisines and a beautiful harbour and all these beaches. But now it kind of has become a little bit of like just basically a vessel for property speculation, would you say? It is. No,
it's just a place where, you've got people who clamber over the top of each other to get ahead. So it's become a place where people go to make money, but they make it not through the traditional means of entrepreneurship and stuff like that. They do it through speculating on property.
It's basically the urban version of the mining boom.
Pretty much.
Parking your wealth in different parts of, this beautiful city that a lot of people, once upon a time lived in and gotten by in without doing much and were able to kind of thrive creatively and build families and communities and live there generationally. That's not the case anymore. You hear these yarns about, growing up in Balmain, 5-6 generations Balmain. That's not happening anymore. If you live in Balmain, you need to work at the ABC and you have to have a pretty good job.
Or you're a fuckwit.
Or you're an investment banker from London who moved here with a couple kids and bought a terrace house because it reminds you of Notting Hill. But still, over 6 million people live in the joint. So there's got to be something going on. And today's guest knows what's going on. He can kind of see beneath domain.com.au and all of this shit in the Sydney-centric media where it's just about big houses and big schools and NIMBYism and all this shit that they talk about. There's actually people hanging out and people living their lives. And today's guest knows exactly where they are and what they're doing. He's an author. I like to think he's actually been hiding his identity from the world. He's an author, a social commentator, anthropologist, you'd call him.
Meme page admin.
And
observer of NPCs.
Observer of cultural commentator. Thank you for joining us, Monkeyboy.
Thank you for having me, guys. I've broken my no podcast rule and thanks for having me.
And the reason he has broken his new podcast rule is because he's flogging wares, ladies and gentlemen.
Go get it. The
Monkeyboy Sydney Culture Report 2025. Now we're going to talk to this young man about what it was like to grow up in that city as someone who was, again, probably a bit too young to remember taking those beautiful Carl Williams era pingers and dancing the night away in King's Cross. You missed out on all of that.
All of it. I mean, Lockout Laws came out when I hit 18.
Oh,
bit of an age reveal, but they came in. So all I had was the yarns of the cross. All my whole generation, that's all we had was just the yarns. Newtown's kind of kept something going as much as it's changed. But yeah, I mean, we definitely grew up in the kind of Sydney's a shithole generation.
Or Sydney's, there's nothing going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is going on? Because I know that young people, whether they're employed or unemployed, if they're living with friends in share houses, they have a hankering to party hard.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
where does that take place now? If it's not happening in, organised crime-owned nightclubs in the Cross, where is that taking place?
Oh, I mean, if you've got a city of 6 million people, there's going to be young people trying to party. So like, I don't know, house parties, warehouse parties, pubs. The main thing to always remember is like in a city of 6 million people, you're going to find cool shit.
Are there any bands coming through?
I'm not the biggest bands guy. I actually like grew up like blogging about Australian hip hop.
Okay.
So
Well, there's plenty of that coming out of Sydney.
Yeah, for sure. That's where I got my that's where I learned a lot about like working class Western Sydney and just like little corners of Western Sydney. A lot of my introductions to a lot of those places was like just like YouTube videos filmed on iPhone 3s on a corner.
Cursor.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So I kind of like discovered a lot of Sydney's identity through the internet.
Yeah. That is very rare of you as someone from Sydney to openly admit that you didn't know much about Western Sydney, because that's the whole thing, the West is the real city and everyone carries on about that. But you're proudly in a West, which is not Western Sydney.
Yeah, not at all. No. I think
it is to certain people, I guess.
to certain people it is. You could talk to someone from Bondi, they'll be like, oh yeah, like Petersham, that's you're a Westie. But
Western Sydney starts at the fish markets type thing.
But we all know it starts at Homebush.
Homebush. Right, okay. That's
I guess, I mean, I want to sound like I'm better than you in a Westerner right now, but
So is that why Angus Taylor can say that he went to school in Western Sydney because he went to King's and Carlingford?
Yeah, pretty much. I would consider anyone who spends a lot of time out west a bit of a Westie, to be honest. But this is going to sound very inner Westie of me, but because it's such a crossroad region of Sydney, you do come into contact with heaps of people, with grandparents from Western Sydney, uncles, aunties, even kids that are from Western Sydney, but they study in the inner west because they're better schools. Or
you're almost like a continental bridge. You're almost like the Levant. You're the Israel, Palestine, Lebanon of Sydney.
Yep.
Between continents.
Fully.
Yeah.
Which confuses me because the last time I was thinking about that area of Sydney was a lot of that conjecture around WestConnex, where there were lots of people who didn't want it in that area because they didn't want people from other parts of Sydney being able to get there easily. That's
always a thing, like especially a lot of these the first wave gentrifiers who kind of got their houses in the like early 90s, late 90s.
The Whitlams fans.
Yeah, they hit the jackpot. Like they've got like, they bought a house for like 400 grand and now it's worth like 3.5 million.
Yeah.
They literally won the housing market game, so they can be a bit protective.
Yeah, so you will admit that probably Sydney's inner west is some of the best in the world at NIMBYism.
I think we started the game.
The original version of NIMBY, I remember the first version I heard of it was that old mental asylum in Balmain.
Yeah, Callan Park.
There was talk of housing refugees there during the Syrian refugee crisis, and the Greens council blocked it.
Yeah,
the Greens said no.
Yeah,
why?
I want some Arabs living in the inner west.
Yeah, and Roselle.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, right. Well, look, I think most people I speak to from Sydney, it is a city made up of their own little villages, right? People from parts of Sydney don't necessarily go to other parts of Sydney.
Definitely.
I mean, you don't have a lot of people coming from the west coming out to Bondi. You don't have people from Bondi going out west. Why is that? Is it historically because it's been such a shit place to get around?
I think I've thought about this a lot, actually. I think, honestly, geography is overlooked. Like, just simple things like harbors, rivers, stuff like that would naturally kind of just makes it kind of self-secluding.
Enclave.
Yeah, enclave.
Almost boroughs in a way, right?
It's it's quite funny when you're speaking to someone from Sydney, say someone from the inner west, and you're like, let's go up to the northern beaches for lunch and see a couple of people up there. They go, oh,
yeah, fully.
oh.
Even
we can't go up there. It'll take half a day.
Yeah. And even like suburbs, like I went out to Gladesville the other day, which is kind of like a weird middle ground. Like some people would say it's inner west, some would say it's North Shore. It's like this weird part. But we went over 3 bridges to get there. It was like 20 minutes on the bus, 3 bridges, and you really get the sense like, fuck, we are going
Elsewhere.
Like we're on a journey. We're going over like oceans and harbors. So I think that plays a role in it. I think like just classic like classism plays obviously a huge role. The multiculturalism.
Multiculturalism adds to the kind of enclaves, right?
Fully, yeah, of course.
So what are your favorite ethnic enclaves in Sydney?
Oh man,
Give me some of them.
Oh,
Give me
man.
top 5.
Top 5. Well, I'm a Petersham boy, so I'd have to say the Portuguese community of Sydney.
As you can see with the chicken on the screen there.
Yeah,
Frango's chicken.
shout out Fraser Park, shout out Frangos.
Is that what that is? Yeah, right.
Yeah, the Water Tower.
Looks like a Porto's.
It's got to be.
you
I
get
think
here
it's the only. Is it like the only Portuguese? Is there any other like communities
I don't know
around
if there's
Australia?
any communes. And
I don't even
they
think
all
there
came
is.
from one island, the Australian Portuguese, the Madeira.
Madeira. I know there's some islands near Africa or something.
Yeah. They all came from one island, and it was. That's why a lot of the Portuguese restaurants you'll see in Australia are. It's an interesting menu because it's like the island. It's not what you probably get in.
But
A lot
that's-
of the Irish in Australia too came here from one island.
one particular island.
Yeah.
Really?
Island of Ireland.
Which one was that?
Island.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Portuguese community is like essentially like when I started school, like half the year 6s were like Pereiras, Dos Santoses, those kind of surnames, and then by the time I was in year 6, I don't think there was like a Portuguese person in my class, but
They still own all the land. That's the true enclave.
Yeah.
I suppose they all dropped out in year 5 to go and work at Frango's.
Yeah, they just do the classic kind of Southern European thing of just get rich and get the fuck out of there and
Fair enough.
assimilate. But
Okay, so Frango's is number 1. What else
Frango's
we got?
1. Got to say maybe the
So that we're not going to do the chicken shop list. We're going to do the favorite enclaves list.
Okay.
Ethnic enclaves.
okay.
Frango's
I don't
and
want to.
Petersham are both number 1. Or both.
Yeah,
lists.
that's one. Maybe the Shanghainese community of Ashfield. I feel like I'm gonna do. That's my last inner west one. I'll go a bit out, but just for food, just simply for like within 10 meters is like 3 insane dumpling spots. Yeah, Ashfield for just the food. 3, I think just for what it's done for Sydney in terms of sport and music, I got to say the Samoans of Mountie.
Mount Druitt for those
Mount
listening
Druitt.
at home.
Oh, right.
Not that I've spent much time in Mount Druitt, but just for their the cultural weight they have in our city. Maybe the Irish. Would they call that an enclave? Just the Irish backpackers in Coogee and
Yeah,
stuff.
well, I think
County
they're
Coogee.
putting
Yeah,
down
County
roots now,
Coogee.
so they are having kids.
They're fun. They're just a ball. So
Yeah.
I'd say them and God damn, there's so many.
There's a curry mile, right? Up in near
Harris
Parramatta.
Park.
Parramatta, Harris Park.
Yeah.
Harris Park is underrated.
Yeah.
I would lock in Harris Park. That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harris Park for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
we went there before an Origin game a couple of years ago. That was where we had the Indian food in that house, but it was a restaurant.
Yeah, this whole house. There's this whole street of
Yeah,
houses.
it's all houses and Mustangs down the street, and it's
They're living the dream.
Yeah,
the Indian
they really
Australian
are.
dream.
Yeah.
Now, chicken shops. Let's go top 5 of them. We start.
God damn. Got to put Clem's in there.
Where's that? Where do you find that?
King Street. It's like the
Newtown.
oldest. Yeah, Newtown. It's like the oldest. It's got to be one of the oldest small businesses on King Street. It's one of them. And because now there's like the KFC opened up 2 months ago or something. There's a Broasters. There's so many chicken spots. So like going to Clem's is almost like a political act. Like
Yep.
it's like you're actually fighting gentrification by getting fried chicken. So not even food wise, just for the fact that you can have a guilt-free fried chicken because it's for the community. I'll say clams. I'm going to say for my Lebanese chicken, a wafi. Bit of it's a Westie favorite, but it's kind of overshadowed by El Jana.
Yeah.
It didn't have like the branch out El Jana had. I think there's like just 2 locations or something.
All right.
But they do good charcoal chicken, garlic sauce. That Indonesian one in Kingsford. Do you know that one? Ayam goreng.
Yeah.
That's how they say it.
That's
how they say chicken.
Yeah, ayam goreng. I think ayam goreng 99 is arguably the best tasting chicken.
Okay.
In Sydney.
Yeah.
Javanese style.
Always good to wander in there after you've had 15 schooners at Churchill's.
Yeah. It's fall off the bone stuff. It's so good.
Yeah.
I might say kind of like Henrietta's.
Where's that?
That's a bougie gentrified one on
Lebanese?
It's kind of just a charcoal chicken spot.
Right.
They're kind of all blending because like Frango's, who is one, obviously, that goes without saying, is doing garlic sauce now. I've even seen them do like pickled, like what is
Isn't it called Tomb?
Tomb, yeah. I've seen
T-O-U-N.
Frango's doing that.
So Franco's, stay in your lane. Like you're not.
It's all gotten fucked. Like El Jana's doing fried chicken.
Yeah.
Like it's all a bit. It's sad, but you like. I don't want to hold Frango's back, so like I'd love to see them winning.
You're in a Greek-owned chicken shop when they don't have garlic or chili. It's mayo.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's the big one. You want mayo, like a chicken sandwich with mayo. Sure.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. The Frango sauce has got the kind of 50-50.
Yeah.
You get the 50-50 chili mayo. That's a taste of Petersham for sure.
Now, what do you think of some of the scenes emerging from Sydney right now? Like, there's always been, I guess, Australia's answer to grunge kind of came out of, many would say, came out of Newcastle. And punk in the 80s was Queensland.
Yeah.
You know, the Saints and whatever. Is there a scene getting around Sydney now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's it's obviously kind of crazy to see. I'm not really into the music, but it's crazy to see like Speed and people that are so Sydney forward going around and like.
So what would that be? Metal?
The hardcore
Metal, but very multicultural, very Asian.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So these are the kids of Chatswood, you know?
Yeah, I guess it kind of suits. I mean, he's a hardcore. People are like straight edge. So I feel like lots of Asian Australians kind of love it because you can just get wild, but it's not a alcohol fest.
It's not like going to the Everest.
Yeah, exactly. There's that, and there's obviously like since 2019, like out west, like kind of established itself as a hip hop
The
place. Like I always, even before with the drill, everything, there's so much coming out and like it's getting recognized overseas, and it's kind of like I've always said, like, you've got a hip hop city when you've got kids just like giving it a crack all the time.
Yeah.
Like they're just like always giving it a crack. It's not like 10 years ago when it was just kind of some weirdos just like picked up a mic and like
all criminals. Like you just had to be really confident.
Yeah. Now there's you go in like JD Sports on Pitt Street and you'll just see all these like Westie kids and like rappers from Western Sydney on the ads.
So gutter rap was an interesting thing that came out of Sydney.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
For our listeners, can you explain the eshay thing? Like, explain it properly because no one really knows what it means.
Yeah.
Especially outside of Sydney. Unless you grew up around that, people don't know what it means. And one thing I would say to the old codgers listening to this now is you had your own version of this. There was the bodgies and the widgies or whatever you used to call them. And then there was, the skinheads, and there was like, not necessarily the political skinheads, but
what's a bodgie? I don't really know.
The bodgie and the widgies, they were like 60s.
It's like Sharpies or something?
It's similar to the greases.
Right.
Yeah, mods and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they had that. It was kind of it was a Western Sydney working class scene. Right?
Yeah.
And that's essentially what this eshay thing is. But so far the media hasn't really been able to articulate that. They kind of just use eshay as like a word for youth criminal, youth offender.
Yeah, I think it's been like 2 decades of the media having a really weird relationship with eshays or adlays or whatever you call them. I think they're probably one of the few truly uniquely Australian youth subcultures. I think most people agree now that there's people like Spaniard explaining the history that it started with like kind of searcher culture in the city.
So those are petty thieves.
Yeah, petty thieves. Just before there was like like security cameras in places,
Cat
and getting
burglars,
rich.
car theft.
Yeah, and suburbs like Glebe and Woolloomooloo. Which I think they would call each other lads. They'd be like, "Oi, lad, what's going on?" So then people like that went to school with them or whatever would call them lads because they would call each other lads.
Yeah.
So then it became lads, which was like for my generation what we'd call them, became lads.
And then there's a Pig Latin element to it.
Yeah, huge Pig Latin element, which is kind of like just leaked into all sides of Sydney. I feel like everyone like in Sydney will use a bit of Pig Latin.
Yeah.
Ironically or unironically.
A bit like that old Cockney rhyming slang in England where it's clearly it's part of the vocabulary because at some point it was what people needed to do to avoid cops understanding them.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
For
the
sure.
authorities in general.
Yeah.
So,
And just a way to like stand out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely something that the other cities, capital cities, don't seem to get is the relationship with an eshay, a lad in Sydney is a lot more intertwined.
Yeah.
And now they call it eshays and you're like it's hard to not be like, oh, well, like that's just a word that would say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like how culture and language changes is like they get it wrong because a lot of like people say eshay now and that is kind of technically wrong.
Yeah.
But that's how language changes.
Eshay means...
I mean, it means like yes. Just like if something good happens, you go, oh, eshay.
Yeah.
But
Shayish.
Sorry?
If you say it in reverse, which is Pig Latin, right? Shayish.
Well, Pig Latin's like, no, you take you take the first letter off and then you add an A at the end.
Yeah, so you take the first
Is that how it
letter
is?
from
I'm a
the
bit
front.
dyslexic.
No, you do the first letter from the front and move it to the end of the word followed by A.
Because
So-
like, yeah.
So this would be an N-K.
Because my
Eba.
Monkeyboy would be Monkeyboy May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monkeyboy May.
Yeah.
Yes. So eshay means yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of gone on to be the new word for young, troublesome kids that like Nike.
Sportswear.
Sportswear.
Bit of NRL kit in there too.
Oh, of course. That's always,
the footy shorts. Something I've always noticed about the eshays is the pins. They've always got their legs out.
Yeah, and the wax legs was
Yeah.
that was a thing when I was younger. It was the wax legs, and you're like, what the fuck? Why are you why are you doing that? But then like obviously as you grow up, you're like, oh shit, that becomes like what starts as like a metrosexual thing. You're like, oh, don't mess with that guy. He's got no hair on his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fast swimmer.
yeah, fast swimmer. I don't know what it does. Defines him like tattoos or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Similar to on the shin tats too. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems to have become, I don't know what the word is, like more, it's so like, it's not as distinct as it used to be. Like it's just kind of, there's not like a fine line. Maybe 15 years ago, you'd be like, that's a lad.
Yeah.
Like that's
right.
a lad. I feel like now it's,
Well, so they're not on the fringe of society anymore.
no, and it's kind of like,
Now they're speculating on property too.
Well,
yeah. And
now they work in like corporate creatives. There's
Yeah.
people in music labels dressing like them now.
exactly. And
Yeah.
you've seen it in the UK as well with their kind of street culture. It's the same.
Burberry became palatable.
Yeah, Burberry or like the
Yeah.
roadman kind of thing of wearing like puffy jackets and stuff. It's just kind of everyone does it because it's cool.
Now, tell us what you've written about in the book.
Oh, the mag.
What's a mag, sorry?
The mag, yeah, I don't know what it's
The
called. I
report.
called it a zine, then I call it a mag. I feel like it's a mag now because I put way too much effort into it.
It's an almanac.
Yeah, it's a yearly wrap up.
Yep.
It's I guess I decided to do it because I wanted to kind of, I mean, one, I did it last year, but last year's one was more just a compilation of the best posts
Yep.
into a hard copy.
Yeah.
This one, I wanted to kind of just test the boundaries of what a meme page can do, like what it can like push what a meme page can be.
You wouldn't believe the internet.
Yeah, exactly. It's a mix of like news, kind of just extended memes, like really drawn out memes that become articles, guides, things that happened this year, little things like just people.
So you've got a backpacker guide in there.
Backpacker guide, how to talk to like a French guy and a German guy, because that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that just comes from years of being in King's Cross smoking sections,
Yeah.
learning
They're not
what
the
makes
same.
them tick. They are not the same. They are not the same.
Yeah, no, they've fought a lot of they've fought a lot of wars over them not being
Exactly.
the same.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, and it's like the main reason is just because I think I love print and I love real things. And it's just cool to have this kind of community in Sydney of people all reading the same thing. Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah. It's
just
like
fun.
we're reinventing the underground
Yeah.
magazines.
Yeah,
And for
well,
the younger crowd, it's like I reckon there's some people who have never bought a magazine. Like
For sure.
like the Gen Zers
Yeah.
might have never bought a magazine, and it's such a fun process
Yeah.
of like ordering something and then getting it, and then it's just it's so much more different to scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
well, it's interesting how you've got the baby boomers who still love to buy newspapers, love their magazines.
Crossword.
Generation X fucking hates printers, and they hate things that are printed on paper. They hate them because they were the early adopters.
Oh, right.
They were the ones who were like, "Oh, I can get my newspaper on a computer."
Yeah.
They love iPads, don't they, Gen X?
Love iPads.
Yeah.
Then you've got you know, the millennials, Gen Y, who are like, I wish we still had magazines.
Vice
Yeah, we're
magazine, the
nostalgic.
Vice magazine nostalgia. Yeah.
And then you've got Gen Z coming through again and said maybe we can start to put things on paper again.
Yeah.
Because I've spent my entire life with a fucking iPad in front of me.
Do you think there is an opt-out happening now with social media?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the norm, I think, now to now it's honestly like smoking cigarettes or something.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows it's not good for you to be
Yeah.
scrolling all day.
Yeah.
It's not like you'd have to be a bit of a psycho that just like
To think it's
fuck
good.
it, I love it. Like to just say that, like, oh, I love scrolling. All I do is scroll. Like, you got to at least act like you got to at least act like
Yeah.
guilty. And heaps of people would not want to look at their screen time the same way they don't want to look at their bank account. Like that kind of feeling of dread. Like, oh shit, I don't want to know this.
People also wouldn't ever share their screen time
Yeah.
or truthfully share it.
Yeah.
No. And no one is ever like, oh, I spent 3 hours on the couch scrolling away.
Yeah.
But people will always say, oh, I spent the afternoon,
Reading,
reading
magazine.
a book.
There's
Yeah.
there's something less shameful about binge watching too, right? Like
Yeah.
you've got someone says, "Oh, see, I sat down and watched the entire Wire," or I watched, Kath and Kim start to finish. Everyone's like, "Oh, we've all done that."
Yeah.
It's obviously not something you should do every day, but it's
I think it's just because it's purposeful.
Yeah.
Like scrolling is you're watching things you
It's
didn't know you
aimless.
were going to watch 5 seconds earlier. Just every 10 seconds, you're just
It
like,
gets dark too.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, like no wonder it's having such a weird effect on sort of young people, because you can be going through, you're scrolling, and then, you go from Brett Lee sort of bowling some awesome deliveries to someone in China getting crushed by a forklift.
to the most
then-
beautiful
Yeah.
person you've ever seen.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
To
like-
an elephant being born.
Yeah. And then it's
Yeah.
like some dude telling you like women suck. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just,
Like, what is that doing to your brain?
exactly. And I think,
Like, is that worse than smoking?
I mean, I would say so. But I think that all brought me to the magazine. I was
Yeah.
kind of like, I mean, it's not even, it was more for me. I mean, I've been kind of
Well, you're
being
published. You're also a
drawn.
published writer now too. That's what a
Yeah.
magazine's done.
Yeah, exactly.
You can write thousands of words on the internet for your entire life, and no one would ever think
Yeah.
you've published anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I've got, and it's something I would want. A lot of what I do is would I want to see that.
Yeah.
So, and I found myself more drawn to kind of creators that have made kind of zines or magazines. So yeah, that's why I did it.
Pass it here. I'm going to read some of the highlights of the Monkeyboy Sydney Culture 2025 report. We've got the Mardi Gras line extension. We've got how to move to Melbourne. Oh, that'll be a good one. Brain rot, Cronulla riots. We've got the 2000 suburban YouTube best of. That's good that you've documented that.
I know, someone had to.
And of course, how to talk to backpackers and heaps more. This is the
Heaps more, 80
Monkeyboy
pages.
Sydney Culture Report 2025. Have you been moving a few of them?
Yeah.
Have you still got many more to print?
I've got a few more.
Okay.
And I'm doing a Christmas run as well.
Okay. Right.
So
we'll send everyone to.
If you want a really good Christmas present, get this.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today, Monkeyboy. We're keen to see the report in 2026.
It's going to be huge.
Well, as we've all kind of acknowledged, and the pubs will tell you this, that people are coming back out. People are back out.
That's it.
You pair that with the opting out of social media and just the excitement surrounding live events and community events.
Real world shit.
2026 could be back to where we were before the pandemic.
Yeah, I got a feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a feeling.
Yeah, go the Matildas.
Oh, I forgot to ask you, what's the most Sydney question you can ask someone? Where did you go to school?
I went to school in the humble working class suburb of Glebe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, on the water.
So,
looking for Alabrandy, but the other school.
Yeah. Hell no.
So
And we
you're
got the fish
saying-
market stank all
so
day,
you're
all
saying
day.
that the taxpayers paid for your textbooks?
Hell yeah. Okay. And the like 50 chairs, and we had to look for the other ones.
So you had the fish market next door. So I think I know the school. Alexi from Betoota's last video store.
Yeah, we got the smell on a bad wind. When the winds are bad, you get all the smells. But yeah,
beautiful in a way.
but good school. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Monkey.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Get out and get your magazine. Get the Monkeyboy
mag.
Almanac Cultural Report 2025 out now.